I want to dive into this a little bit. And for some of our listeners, inclusionary means that when a market rate project's built, a certain percentage of the units get set aside for affordable housing, and it's essentially funded by the developers in that. And you set the inclusionary too high, and you're going to get 100% affordable units of zero projects. And you set it too low, and maybe you don't have enough affordability in your community. I mean, I think this is something Ezra Klein talks about, of how sort of blue cities, blue states have decided that they're going to have the everything bagel of for housing, where it has to solve all the problems. It has to have prevailing wage and be green and having affordable housing built in and all that. And the net result is that we don't build enough housing. Can you explain? Because I think I've seen you be an advocate for trying to focus on the big goal of getting more housing built, and where you think blue cities and blue states may be struggling with this.
I think that this idea that when you build market rate, or what some people consider to be luxury housing, when you build more of that, that you are somehow crowding out or pricing out people of low income. And that just simply has not been the case in most blue cities. The city of Albany, as we built market rate housing, we built almost the exact same number of units of subsidized housing. So this isn't a NIMBY issue. And you're absolutely right. We had inclusionary zoning. I insisted on it when I became mayor. We redid our zoning code, and we had a robust debate, and we looked at the numbers. And so we had a 5% of the units in any new development, any new market rate development had to be affordable. And that was working. And we created dozens and dozens of units of affordable housing within those market rate projects. And then the advocates came, and they wanted to not only raise the percentage of units, but lower the AMI that they had to hit. So now we're at, in some projects, 13% of the units have to be affordable. So, right, like that's almost 3 times. And to people at 60% of area median income. And it's just not fundable. A bank will not make that loan. And we've tried to explain that to the advocates. We've tried to say that 13% of zero is zero. And so we've demonstrated, we've shown them what the result has been, and how we have created no new units of affordable housing within a market rate development. And so we've got to find that in between. We have to ensure that we are focused on growth, focused on growing our tax base, focused on growing the wealth of our city. And we do that in a number of different ways. And we've made historic investment in workforce development. We've reduced poverty in the city of Albany. We've lifted thousands of children out of poverty in the 12 years that I've been mayor. I've been incredibly intentional when we are looking at investing our scarce resources to step back and ask the question, how is this going to help the most vulnerable person, the folks that are struggling the most in this community? What are they going to think about this investment? How are they going to look at it? And so we are in the process of completing 2 new community centers in 2 of our most under-resourced neighborhoods. We're replacing a 100-year-old pool in a park in one of our most under-resourced neighborhoods. We've focused on investing in the city's infrastructure. That means getting out lead pipes, all new lights. Our streets are brighter, which means they feel safer. And so we've made those investments, and we started in those neighborhoods that had been most disinvested in. We've invested in almost every park in the city of Albany. And so I think we have to look at that balance, because we did all those things in order to lift up our neighborhoods and the quality of life in our neighborhoods. And there is a great desire to continue to make investments in affordable housing, but also making those investments in market rate housing, so that we can ensure that we're lifting all of us up to a higher level, a higher level of opportunity, right? So when you have those mixed income neighborhoods, you're able to bring that grocery store to what had been a neighborhood where the algorithms would never have resulted in a grocery store being located there. But now you have a demographic base that allows that, and that benefits everyone, even the low income people who live there.